igama ngifanele wasibisi, the provincial spokesperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. We should start by apologizing for the slight delay. In the near future, we will be definitely on time. Greetings to the leadership of the ANC. Comrade Ubaba Jeff Khatebe, the coordinator. Ubaba Comrade Undiema, the convener and the coordinator. Colleagues, greetings to you as the media fraternity. We are grateful that you have accepted our invite. We have called this press briefing solely to communicate the decisions of the Provincial Task Team that was held on Monday, which will talk more to the program of action and our approach to the renewal of the African National Congress. So thank you very much, colleagues, for coming. Without taking time, I will request that the leadership presents the statement on behalf of the Provincial Task Team of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. Leadership.
Thanks, Fanle, the coordinator, Comrade Mike Mabuyakulu, and the people of the media. Thanks once again for attending this first media conference by the newly appointed Provincial Task Team of KwaZulu-Natal. Receive our revolutionary greetings in the year to make the African National Congress a more effective instrument of the people to achieve the vision of the Freedom Charter and the people's mandate. We want to reaffirm our commitment that the people shall govern in KwaZulu-Natal and that they shall share in the country's wealth. As the new African National Congress provincial leadership, therefore, we want to reaffirm our firm commitment that the people shall govern. To this end, we can no longer take our membership, our people at large, for granted if we are to reclaim the ANC as a strategic center of power. As we forge ahead in our endeavor to reclaim the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, we want to congratulate Comrade Dixon Masemola, who is the National Executive Committee convener for KZN, and other of his colleagues in the ANC who have been duly deployed by the leadership of the ANC here in KwaZulu-Natal. And these comrades are Togo Didiza, Donald Selamolela, Penny Majodina, Steve Mapaseka Letsike, Pam Chwete, Angie Mtseha, Pumulo Maswale, and Joe Maswanganye. We congratulate them on their new task and reaffirm our commitment to work with them in rebuilding the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. So as our partners in the media, we'll rely on you to convey many messages that we shall be communicating from time to time. Our task as this new collective is a generational mission to reposition this great movement, the ANC, as the center of people's power post the disastrous election results of 2024, where we secure only a measly 17% of the vote in this big province. Our task includes retaining our existing support base and regaining the support of all those ANC supporters who voted against us in 2024. But above all, we must engage with all those who live in our communities in KZN to be active in rebuilding our structures, especially of civil society, including respecting and working very closely with our traditional leadership as well as the religious communities. We will also work closely to turn around the major municipalities in our province, especially those we play a major role in, such as eThekwini Metro. Our comrades, we have recommitted ourselves that we will decisively deal with internal challenges such as factionalism and corruption. We have made it very clear to all the 66 of us that this leadership has no space for corruption at all. We are totally intolerant of corruption, regardless of who they are. We will never allow anyone of the leadership in KwaZulu-Natal to use their positions to gain advantage by corrupt means. We have always, and we have, as this new leadership, recommitted ourselves to the founding principles of renewal to rebuild all our structures. We will lead by example, and the decisions of the ANC and all its constitutional structures have been reaffirmed by our Secretary General, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, when he addressed us here in Durban last Tuesday. We have to be honest with the people of KwaZulu-Natal that we face an existential threat which requires all of us to take drastic measures to turn things around. This collective, it aims to ensure that we bring back our people home to the ANC. We have to fight back to regain the confidence of all our people in KwaZulu-Natal. We will redouble our efforts to mobilize our traditional base, which includes the white, colored, and Indian community, including our alliance partners, the ACCP, COSATU, and SANCO, who must be part and parcel of this renewal project. This week, our coordinator, Comrade Mike Mabuyakulu, will be meeting with the secretariat of our partners in this province to ensure that within the next week or two, we meet as the political council of KwaZulu-Natal. The National Executive Committee has outlined for us 3 main tasks for the next 3 to 6 months. And that is to rebuild and renew the ANC and reconnect with our movement with all sectors of society in every community across the length and breadth of KZN. We are going to be preparing for the 2026 local government elections right away. We, particularly this collective, will be overseeing the work of all ANC cadres who are deployed in the provincial government of unity and all municipalities to ensure effective service delivery. We cannot deviate from this basic mandate. Let me talk about the immediate interventions and the task that lie ahead. We want to commend the positive spirit with which we have been received by everyone in the ANC office, from previous office bearers to all the administrative staff. Shortly, we'll be receiving an in-depth state of the organizational report within the next week or so, and this will enable us, as this current leadership, to get an objective analysis of where we are as an organization to avoid duplications and to ensure that the interventions and our plans we formulate are going forward are scientific and are grounded in solving the most pressing issues that face our people. On membership, we are giving ourselves sufficient time to go through the question of membership. The key point is that we should have a process that inspires hope amongst the members of the ANC to protect its integrity. This will entail, amongst others, to audit and to verify all our membership base to ensure credibility of all ANC processes. And to this end, some of our officials will be attending a membership training session this week. This workshop will be presented with the program of action, our battle plan, that our provincial coordinator outlined in detail to the provincial task team, and a roadmap on all matters relating to membership. After this workshop, the province will be expected to schedule their membership training session dates. As I've said, they're starting this week. We will brief the media once we have recorded progress on this very critical matter, because we want to be very transparent to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. We will have a renewal charter that has been agreed to. We have agreed that all of us must subscribe to the renewal charter as a physical expression and a firm commitment to rebuilding our movement. This charter adds a layer of dedication. It is a solemn pledge by all of us to work only for our movement and our people and not for ourselves. Asiye Ekhaya campaign. This campaign is our grassroots engine which seeks to reconnect the ANC with our core constituency. This campaign will be focused on ensuring that this great movement, the ANC, retains its role as the strategic center for all progressive forces and individuals in our society. We are going to be intensifying our political education. We will enhance our political education machinery and campaign to build both political and social consciousness amongst all our leaders, our members, and our supporters to capacitate them in driving the national democratic revolution. In pursuit of all these goals, of uniting firstly our leadership and our people and sectors of society behind the ANC, we shall also convene several meetings and engagements with key stakeholders like our traditional leadership, our religious communities, to ensure that we do not leave our organs of people's power behind. The effort to renew the mission to rebuild has started, and we shall not look back, but will forge forward to unite the ANC solely behind the movement of Luthuli, the movement of Tambo, of Mandela, and all our great leaders who have lived in this land, including our great people's chief, President Luthuli. I thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Convener. We welcome Comrade Deputy Coordinator. Colleagues, it's time that we take questions. The position of the African National Congress has been presented by the Provincial Coordinator, Comrade Pungane. So sicela ukuthatha imibuzo so that sikwazi ukuresponda kuyona with this collective leadership. First set of hands. I would request that colleagues, when you present your questions, you start by introducing yourselves so that we get to be familiar with one another. I am Fandes BC, the provincial spokesperson of the ANC KZN. So, let's start that route. Yes, you should be number one. Number two. Is there any other hand? Just those two hands. It's okay, we'll take it from there. Thank you. You may proceed, ma'am.
Jay from the SABC. My question is we spoke about restoring unity and going into communities and regaining the lost votes. But I want to ask, how do you do that when majority of those voters have lost faith in those party members who are at the forefront? How do you restore faith in communities who have lost faith in the very same people that are the faces of the ANC? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So my name is Velam IOL. Yeah. So mine will be a bit of administrative question and then political question. I understand that part of repeating ANC, so this ANC leadership coming from failures of Congress that articulated the government, right? So let's come here. Let's come here in a table. So we all know that TTV has collapsed. So it's not even collapsing; it has collapsed. If there's no infrastructure in the table, so it means okay, the city has collapsed. Now we know that okay, the city has lost close to $1 billion. So the grants coming from Treasury. We know that okay, Treasury has listened to the city and say, "We've not spent this money, bring it back." Close to $1 billion. And that money was supposed to go to infrastructure. Now, so the issue is what's going on in the table. So we know the committee was removed, there was no water. Then the counter came in, there was no water. Now we have some but still there's no water in the table. So while the structure is trying to revive the ANC, repeat the ANC, but on the other hand, if those employees can't do work for the ANC, now, of course, okay, we live in the city anyway, so you come to me for campaigning, and say, but even if I'm not a member of the ANC, but I also vote. So, of course, okay, you need me anyway. So you can't even know what's going on in the way I go for weeks without water and electricity. But coming to the point, I also sit here with a court order where the city indicates 20 million wasteful expenditure. Guess what? The city was advised in 2018 that okay, you must pay a service provider that supplied electricity products for the city. Then the company was not paid. The company went to court and he got a court order then to attach the city's assets. It happened, so it was on the news. Then the city, I know this because I got some information from the city itself. The city was advised, the local desk of the city advised the city, no, go and pay this person because we owe this person. That advice was ignored. Now guess what? Last week, the Supreme Court of Appeal dismissed this application. Now, in carrying 20 million extra on top of 20 million that the city was supposed to pay, the company. Now, 20 million extra is gone. Now, I want accountability leadership. accountability, would there be a consequence management on that? So I want those questions. But last question for me is the issue of Emmanuel Trust. So we know that the Minister of Land Reform was inaugural. So he met the King. The issue was Emmanuel Trust, especially Emmanuel Trust Board. Now we know that the King doesn't want that board anymore. So the King, whether legally or legally, dissolved the board. So we all know that. Now the minister yesterday did what for me was strange. So coming down to the King and appointing ordinary people to investigate a legally constituted board like that. So I don't understand how legal is that. So when you hear the names that forms that committee of 12 members, you find 3 princes, 3 amakosi that have been tasked to investigate and review the performance of the board. What is the view of the ANC in that? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Coordinator.
SABC and IOL, this is the new collective of the leadership of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. We start from ground zero, as I've told the inaugural meeting of the Provincial task team. In other words, we've been appointed to restore confidence to the ANC by the people of KwaZulu-Natal. 17% is a disaster. It reflects that the arrogance of the ANC has cost us the vote. I and my colleagues, we come with a fresh perspective that we want to start from ground zero to move brick by brick, root and branch, to ensure that all the mistakes that the ANC has done previously are corrected timelessly, and that we get back to where we are supposed to be. There are no holy cows here. I told you that one of our principal tasks is to monitor all cadres who are deployed in the government of provincial unity and municipalities. We're not going to be sparing anyone. We are in charge in the government of KwaZulu-Natal with 3 critical portfolios. If you look at the national budget, besides the debt service costs by National Treasury, the biggest expenditure items are education and health. And the ANC is in charge of them. We are going to be monitoring those 2 MECs to ensure that the priority of the government education is implemented in KwaZulu-Natal, and that our people must be healthy through the Department of Health. Transport. Transport is a very critical public service to ordinary South Africans. Remember the days when we were in a government of provincial unity in 1994, Comrade Sbundebele, as the MEC of Transport, he propelled transport into the center of civil service delivery. We want to see that coming back. These are the things that we are committing ourselves, that we are going to hold them accountable, not only to us as the leadership, but to the people. That's why one of the critical things that we are saying, that our people come first. It is not about us as leaders. It is about the communities of KwaZulu-Natal. On the issue of Ingonyama Trust, we are going to acquaint ourselves with all the details around this issue, even though I don't know that our national government is seized with this matter, but we as the ANC were also interested in the resolution of all the issues around the Ngoniama Trust so that it can continue playing a critical role amongst our communities of KwaZulu-Natal. May I add, we are also very worried about the issues around Itala. We are going to be talking with the powers that be, like the Minister of Finance, the Governor of the Reserve Bank, so that we can see what else we can be able to do to save this critical issue that is at the heart and minds of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. We are very sympathetic to the plight of our people. Somebody yesterday even sent me recordings of ordinary people in KwaZulu-Natal asking Itala Bank, what happens to my money? This is my money that I deposited in Itala Bank. Where am I involved as a person? This gentleman said, this from Umlazi, he said, when he left being a policeman about 3 years ago, he put about 700,000 of his hard-earned money away from ABSA to Itala. In January, he's told he can't access his money. What happens to all those ordinary depositors like this gentleman? So our heart goes out to our people. We would like to appeal to the powers that be that let's think about those depositors, those Ntulis of this world, those Magogos who put their life savings in Itala Bank.
Well, thank you very much. I think the Pungane, the convener, has already made quite a lot of observations, but let me just add a few. We have a program of action as the African National Congress in KwaZulu-Natal that we have adopted on Monday. At the cutting edge of this program of action is people-centered and people-driven. We are committed and we are committing ourselves that at everything we do, we are going to put our people first. We will serve our people within the structures of the movement at a branch level, at a zonal level, at a regional level, at a provincial level. We will do so as well where we serve in government. So the new approach is that we are actually going to be lifting the issues of the people and driving those issues. And I want to say, therefore, to the question, how do you restore faith? We're going to restore faith through our actions. And we are clear we will lead as the ANC leadership and the collective. We're going to lead with unity, and we're going to practice unity in action. And that we have agreed that each and every one of us are going to be accountable to one another. And we're setting up mechanisms of accountability and how we're going to be reporting the work we are doing amongst our people. So we are very clear, we have a plan, but we also have a program. Not just a plan, but we have a program that we are going to be embarking upon going forward. So we are satisfied that the work we have decided we are going to do will be able to restore us back into the hearts and the minds of our people. Of course, every South African has a right to listen to our message and has a right not to listen to our message. We will respect that. Let me then come to some of the issues raised by Mr. Pungula. First, this leadership, in terms of his program of action, has decided that we are going to have a due process of assessing all of our municipalities, their functionality, their challenges, and therefore see where we have to be able to assist and where we need to intervene. Some of the challenges faced by municipalities are external factors that are not caused from within the municipality. And some of those will be from internal factors. And we have set ourselves a timeline that we are going to be able then to have a summit that is going to be convened to ensure that we bring all of our municipalities together to assess how are we performing in each of those municipalities where we govern. But similarly, we will also be assessing our performance in the municipalities where we are in the opposition, and to see whether we are actually taking issues of the people up in those areas. So we are clear that this is an ANC that is going to be focusing primarily and mainly on the issues of our people and how we can actually be able to serve our people better. Now, some of the issues raised in eThekwini, some of them we're familiar with. Yes, we know the issues of water in eThekwini, but I can safely say that in the last 2 weeks, there was an agreement in a discussion that involved some of the senior leadership in even national government, how to improve the conditions of water. Some of those issues in eThekwini are issues of where you are sourcing water in terms of the supply of water. And we all know that there are two projects that are in the offing. The Lower Mkomazi project that will come on stream in 2027, and the Upper Mkomazi that will come on stream in 2032. In the intervening period, there are very clear measures that are being taken to improve the issue of the sustainable water supply to the community of eThekwini. And we are going to be seized as the ANC very closely to see that those interventions and measures that are being taken are done to relieve the pressure to our people. And you now know that there has been a curtailment of 8% from abstraction that was imposed by the Department of Water and Sanitation. And we are happy that that has been relaxed so that we are improving the supply of water to the people of eThekwini. So there are interventions as we speak to turn the situation around. So the last part is a part that is dealing with the issues of the Ingonyama Trust. The convener has already made mention of that. Our starting point is that this matter is governed by legislation, and therefore that the Minister of Land Reform has been given the responsibility by law to deal with these matters. But we also know that this matter does, of course, also involve traditional leaders and traditional communities whose land is in question, and also involved His Majesty the King. We made this point clearly in the first briefing, and want to reiterate this position. We would hope that those who are given the right by law to manage these matters are able to do so. However, at any given point where we think we have a view, we will sponsor that view not by starting to sponsor it in the public domain, by starting it in engaging with the powers that be on those matters, so that we can then express our view correctly and in the right platforms where there are views. Our immediate view is that we hope that the matter of the Ingonyama Trust and the transport and all the associated issues should be urgently resolved so that there is certainty to each and every person that lives in this province. And for us, that is important. And of course, we will offer our own views through the appropriate channels.
Just to add a point on both SABC and IOL, that we have already studied, as the coordinators alluded to, in looking specifically at all our municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal. Thus far, we have found out that 40 out of 54 municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal have been described by National Treasury as municipalities facing serious financial problems. And that in the financial year 2023-2024, 8 leading municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal, they failed to spend 7.5 billion rand of their adjusted budget. And that 2.6 billion rand of capital works has not been spent. What does this mean? It means that our people in KwaZulu-Natal are being deprived by useless councillors of not spending budgets that have been appropriated in law, dealing a major blow to service delivery. That will come to an end in our leadership here. We shall leave no stone unturned that those that are in charge of our public resources, they are held to account. If they can't perform their task, they must step aside and we appoint appropriately qualified people who will deliver services to our people. We're not going to end there, actually. Even those ministers and deputy ministers who are who are national champions of this district development model, we are going to hold them to account. Even provincial champions as well. We can't allow the fact that our government at a national level dispenses billions and billions of rands and they are not spent to improve the quality of life for our people. So this leadership, we are about development. We are about prosperity of our people, ordinary people. There are enough resources in this country to solve our poverty, unemployment, and inequality challenges.
Thank you, Comrade Convener. Comrade Deputy Coordinator, so far, so good. Comrade Coordinator, before I take the second set of hands.
Well, there's only one issue on municipalities that we want to add. We want to say that we have been made aware as we came into office that there has been a strike in the Rain Konyeni municipality that's been going on since the beginning of November last year. We were able to then intervene, and within 24 hours, we've been able to find an amicable solution between the parties. This is the spirit that the ANC leadership would want to permeate. When we say we're focusing on the issues of our people, because that strike has been going for quite a long time, we've been able to then find an amicable way by mediating and resolving the strike in the best interest of all of the parties concerned. At the core of this was the service that needed to be given to our people. So when we speak about putting our people first, that's what we mean. And I'm using that as an example. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can we take the second set of hands?
And the last one.
And indeed, that will be the last part of our questions. You'll be number 1 from the back, number 2, number 3 this side. Please, Singakota, just to introduce ourselves so that we respond properly to yourselves. Is there any other hand? Okay, the answers are clear. There's no follow-up. So thank you. You may proceed, sis.
Finally, from SABC. My question to Komale, you spoke about bringing unity to the party. How do
The what?
You spoke about bringing unity to the party. How do you intend to deal with factionalism that normally shows its head, especially when you're approaching
elected conferences, and then even after conferences, it continues that way, leading to the party losing its support.
Just that one question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Just for clarity, I just want to know if the ANC interim leadership in the province has any plans to remove their diplomas in the KZN legislature just to avoid the two centers of power that we were once witnessed during the era of the then chairperson Duma. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
You spoke about leaving no stone unturned and accountability for those office bearers who are meant to make sure that service delivery is carried out. There's currently a crisis that's brewing around medication in the province, in various clinics and hospitals across the province. And the person at the helm of this particular department is also part of this task team. We know that during the State of the Province address, the Premier had said that they're going to be doing their own investigation. What happens that should it come out that there is in fact a crisis and the health department needs a complete overhaul? Does this mean this accountability you speak of could see those who are tasked with making sure that the service delivery are held to account?
Okay. Those are the three hands. Baba Pungan.
Unity. Let me emphasize, unity is a cornerstone upon which the ANC was founded in 1912. Remember Seme. Remember Dube. They brought all Africans together with our traditional leadership. At the head, His Majesty King Dinuzulu. Zulu Mxhosa Hlanganani. The demon of tribalism must be buried and forgotten. We are one people. That's where we are as this collective of the PTT in KwaZulu-Natal. That, as I've said, we are totally intolerant of factionalism. Those who think that they can continue with factions, they're making a big mistake. We have the authority to deal decisively with all those who deviate from the norms and ethics of the African National Congress. Let them try. They won't find space within this collective. We are going to ensure that all those, regardless of who they are, will be dealt with within the structures of the organization. We have no prior plan to removing anybody who's deployed in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and in the legislature. But, as I've said, we are going to hold and monitor everybody who is in government, who is in the legislature on the ticket of the ANC. As the coordinator has just alluded to, we're going to be ensuring that we create a proper matrix of monitoring and evaluating all our deployed cadres, regardless of who they are. Be they the MECs, be they councillors, be they in the PTT not holding any position, everybody, including ourselves as the top six, will have to be accountable. Each and every one of us is accountable to the ANC. So be it the MEC of education or health or transport, whoever, they are not going to escape the scrutiny, the rigorousness of our process. As we always say, the process will find you out. This we are committed to do. May I add, coordinator, without being accused of plagiarism, this collective will make the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal great again.
Well, thank you very much. I think I just want to be able to come in and also say that, well, first and foremost, we are very clear we have made this decision as the provincial task team. We said the provincial task team is and must be the center of unity. And we need to lead with unity and practice unity in action. And we have agreed on this principle. Fundamentally about this principle is that we all understand that our focus is not on internal issues. Our focus is to serve our people. Our focus is to renew our movement. Our focus to enhance the trust of the masses of our people to our movement. And we are unanimous and we agreed. And for that reason, we think we are very clear that the program of action that we will all be embarking upon, which is where we will display unity in action, is going to be this umbilical cord that is going to make everybody to focus on the work at hand. So we really are indeed accepting that the ANC will be able to work together going forward. Bongana is correct. The issue is not about who we should be replacing. The issue is about those who have been deployed to any government have been deployed by the ANC, by the movement. And ours is to support all our deployees, give them the maximum support, allow them to do their work. But in the normal course of what Bongana is saying, that all of us are accountable, therefore that normal process of accountability applies. But there is absolutely nobody amongst us who has an intention to dislocate those whom we have deployed to government. Those who have been deployed to government have been legitimately deployed. They must do their work, and we must support them first and foremost. But of course, in the process, like all of us, they will also be accountable in the normal course of accountability. Now, the issue that has been raised about the Department of Health, first and foremost, we must say that we are just coming in as a new leadership. And the principles that we have enunciated of putting people first means we are putting people first everywhere where we should and we must. And of course, we would need to be able to be given a proper briefing. Because, as you say, this matter is also being a matter dealt with by the government of the province. But at the appropriate time, we would want to be appraised. What we will not do is to actually then make an ill-informed judgment on a matter where we don't have facts. And until we have facts, we will be able then to be properly informed, but we will not hasten and make an ill-informed judgments, and therefore judge anyone without having been able to give them even the basic right of the audi alteram patem, the right of those who probably have been deployed to hear them and what is happening. So this matter is a matter that we think is important, but we want to be appraised and we will be getting facts, and as soon as we have been informed, we will then be able to know how to deal with the matter based on the facts at hand. At the moment, we do not have those facts.
Thank you very much, leadership. As we have indicated, this was the last set of hands, and we want to appeal to your good selves to say, indeed, there will be next time. and we will urge you again to come in your numbers so that we are able to spread the word that the ANC intends to share with its people, its membership. Oh, sorry, there's a... Okay, you are correctly captured. Thank you. So, such, we will appeal that let this journey begin, and we'll have time to engage with your good selves. Baba Pungan, ngicela ukuthi ihumushe nje kancane inkulumo ngesiZulu sithi
Yes. Can we have one-on-one so that we release others? Okay.
Okay, so can we officially advise that this briefing has been adjourned, and then those that may want to have a one-on-one, they may proceed to this table. Ukhona uComrade Mhlaba uzoyi-arrange indlela yokuthi silungisa kanjani so that it's in a sequential order. Right, thank you very much.